I want to thank Rebecca for the invitation, and I want to thank you all for being here. I will try to be short. You've had a long day, and I've just come on the plane from Paris, but I'm really, really pleased to be here and pleased to talk about the forthcoming AI Action Summit. It will take place in February 2025, 10th and 11th. And let me just spend a few minutes explaining how we think about this AI Action Summit. So first of all, it comes after and it builds on the Bletchley Park and the Seoul summits that took place last year and this year, which were very important milestones for AI safety in particular. And this is some of the things that we absolutely want to continue. However, we also want to broaden the discussion to include all aspects of this AI revolution. Because as all of you, of course, know and see, AI is transforming jobs, education, culture, economies. It has an impact on climate. It has an impact on health, positive and negative sometimes. So we really feel that the discussion around safety is important, but we want to broaden the discussion in Paris. We also want to, because of course we're coming after other summits, try to focus on concrete deliverables. This is not, let me be very clear, this is not another governance forum that will try to redo what what UNGA or what other governance forums do. This is not to try and replace anything. This is to try and see how we can catalyze, scale, decide specific actions. And this is very important, which is why we're calling it the AI Action Summit. And one of the reasons I'm here this week is we want to take advantage of UN Week, of the Summit of the Future, of the high-level report, the high-level advisory boards on AI report, of what is agreed as part of the Global Digital Compact and at UNGA, and draw from there. So if there are directions, and there are very interesting directions, for example, in the recent report, in your forum, and we want to draw from that and see, are there areas where we can take that and show the beginning of a concrete initiative? And then I'll ask you for help to enable us to do that. But that's the philosophy that we have when we think about Paris. Another very important thing is, some people ask us, is the Paris Summit an optimistic summit after maybe the Bletchley Summit, which maybe was a more pessimistic summit? This is not about being optimistic or pessimistic. There are risks. And there are opportunities with AI, as with any new technology, and this one is developing very fast. The idea is, how can we focus our energy and our actions on guarding against the risks and steering AI towards applications and towards a world where AI is working in the interest of people, of society, and of the planet. So this is about, again, this idea of action and steering it to something that is, we can call it public interest, we can call it benefits for societies, for people, for the planet, if we think about climate. And that's a very important, I think, line in terms of our philosophy as we approach this. And then, of course, we want the summit to be inclusive. I had to say this especially here. This is very important for this event. To be inclusive in every sense of the world. We want to invite all the countries that are interested. We think that it was great that the UK invited China also to participate. This is something where people who want to participate should be there. We will not agree with everyone on everything, but it's important that they can come to the table. We want to be very wide open to, of course, the business community, small and large, to civil society, to academia, to artists. There's this tension that I'm sure you all see sometimes between the world of culture and creation and the world of AI. Well, in Paris, we have lots of artists, and we welcome artists from all around the world. we want also to include them at the forum. And we want to work within existing fora and initiatives, UN, OECD, Europe, Partnership on AI, and therefore I'm very thankful for the invitation here. We also call this presentation The Road to the Summit. So between now and this event and Paris, we want to partner with like-minded events or people who want to work with us. So we're not exactly partnering with the cocktail, just with the cocktail. We're partnering with the whole event, including the cocktail. But I'm very pleased, Rebecca, with this partnership that we have with this particular policy forum that is organized here. A few more words about the summit. We have identified 5 themes. Public interest AI is really, I talked about doing things for people, for the planet, for societies. We want to have a specific initiative on how AI can be steered towards public interest. By this, we do not just mean AI for good. Of course, AI for good and AI for SDGs is very important. But in there, we want to think about how can AI be something for not just a few actors in a few countries, but for everyone, all the countries, all the players, how we can ensure that there's transparency and openness and how we foster the development of a transparent and open ecosystem. And we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, with a number of you. We'd like to have a very concrete initiative there and hopefully a big one to announce in Paris. Future of work, of course, very important. Lots of people are working on that at OECD, at the International Labour Organization, companies, consultants, civil society, researchers. We want to see if there are things that we could announce, again, things that are maybe already in progress that we can announce in Paris. Innovation and culture, I talked about culture and creation. We will have cultural events the weekend before the summit, and also, again, if we can have some concrete actions over and beyond the capacity to opt out, are there ways to have partnerships, ways for people to engage that we can announce that would be great. Trust in AI is our twist on safety and security to focus on action. So, of course, we'll continue the work from the previous summits, and this is where we will welcome the report that Benjamin just teased us to go and read in a lot of detail. And global AI governance, again, this is not about reinventing the wheel or reinventing a new governance on AI, but maybe first mapping who does what. There's a map of organizations, but there's a map of countries who participate. If you think about the network of countries who have evaluation, safety institutes, AI offices, there's maybe 7, 8, 9, 10. If you talk about UN, there's more than 200 countries. What are the intermediate steps? How do they talk? How is there a report from this first group of experts to straight to UN through an intermediate step? Those are the types of things that we want to be looking at. And of course, there are cross-cutting subjects that we could put in a number of those. And AI and climate and AI and environment is one that we want to draw the light on in Paris, both in terms of opportunities, what can AI do, and also in terms of costs and issues and how we can address them and try to minimize them. That's the 5 teams. We have a great team to work on the summit. Martin Tisney, whom a number of you I'm sure know because he's on the board of Partnership on AI, leads the Public Interest AI Initiative. Sana de Courcelles, who works at the International Labour Organization, heads Future of Work. Roxane Varza, who leads the biggest innovation campus in Paris, leads innovation and culture. Guillaume Poupard, who's an expert in cybersecurity, leads Trust in AI. And Henri Verdier, our digital ambassador, leads global AI governance. And Arnaud Amabile, who's here to the left, travels with me a lot and works even more on this. So yes, we need a round of applause for Arnaud. Without him, I don't know what we would do. Now, what can you do? How can you engage if you want to engage? No obligation, but we would love for you to do that. If you want to showcase a project, this is facilitated by the Paris Peace Forum. They've launched a call for projects. We want to focus on concrete solutions that impact the lives of citizens and that ethnically frame AI. It's been launched. We have a very short deadline for applications because we want to then select projects that will be showcased in February. That's one way. If you want to send ideas, we have a group of universities, civil society organizations in France that are facilitating this. This can be for citizens, for civil society organizations, for academia. It's just been launched. It's open until mid-November. You can send existing papers, you can send ideas. We would, again, welcome that. Contact groups. For each of the 5 teams, we have a contact group. They're multi-stakeholder. They're already quite big, and we will communicate more broadly. But Arnaud, again, is the contact if you want to come. Well, for now.
More specific contacts.
Then there will be more specific contacts. Please do not inundate his inbox.
Everything will be on the website, but if you need.
Yes. And then if you want to organize an event, we're very happy to have side events just before, during the summit. It could be cultural events. As I've said, we would want to showcase what AI can do. We have a point of contact in our culture expert. If it's an event on the road to the summit, something that is taking place that you're organizing between now and February, we have another point of contact. And if it's a side event at the summit, which can be the same day or a few days before, you have a great idea for a regional, thematic, whatever. We have, today we have the website that is the general website that we're working on, and we will have more contact details there.